Harry Chapin was one of the greatest storytellers of all time.
He wanted to change the world. And he did.
Where do you go home to?
My child arrived just the other day.
Well, I go home to my wife and 5 kids.
Away, but there were planes to catch.
To airplanes and rent-a-cars. I also go home to my writing pad.
Talking for I knew it, and
Harry was telling his story.
I'm gonna be like you.
I remember thinking, that's such a cool line. The hair stood up on my arms. It was just the sound of the record.
And the cats in the cradle and the silver spoon.
In your life, do you want to be one cover on Hit Parade magazine, or would you like to get the Nobel Peace Prize?
Gonna have a good time there.
What was his answer?
The Nobel Peace Prize.
I'm SARI Cohen with Hollywood First Look Features, and joining me today is Rick Korn and Jason Chapin, the director and producers of the new documentary, Harry Chapin, When in Doubt, Do Something. Thank you both for joining me today.
Great to be here.
The documentary was phenomenal. I'm interested to hear how you would explain Harry Chapin to today's generation. How would you describe him and his music to the world?
We did a test screening with people in their mid to late 20s and late 30s to just see their reaction to the film. And the vast majority of them knew Cats in the Cradle. They didn't know who wrote it. But what they were really inspired by was Harry himself and his activism work. And they found that to be unique.
Rick, this question is for you. You know, the documentary was mixed with archival footage and new interviews. So did you have an idea of what you wanted to do going into it, or did it kind of take shape as you were developing with these new interviews?
We had a framework. We had a treatment that we wrote before we even presented it to the Chapin family. And I think we basically stuck to that format. I will tell you, we had no idea how prolific Harry was and all the things he did. Our original cut on this film was 2.5 hours. It's now 93 minutes. So there is so much about Harry that we couldn't include, but we focused on his incredible music and his activism, and we felt those were the strong points, hence why we call it When in Doubt, Do Something. It's really about his accomplishments, not just as a musician, but as an activist.
Jason, I want to ask you now, when you hear Cats in the Cradle today, what does that mean to you?
It means that my father is remembered. It means that he and my mother wrote a song that's still loved by people. It's really exciting when it pops up in a TV show, or it's in a movie or a commercial, and when others do their covers, having everyone from Johnny Cash to Judy Collins to Ugly Kid Joe do covers of that song is just something I never imagined, and it's really a special treat.
This goes for both of you. When in doubt, do something is Harry's credo. What do you think Harry Chapin would be advocating people to do today?
He was a doer, and it was all about doing it with others. So he would be talking to everybody. He'd be going down to Washington trying to get Congress to help more people in more meaningful ways. He would be doing benefit concerts with all sorts of artists trying to raise more money for fighting hunger and poverty. He would be doing interviews with anybody who would interview him. He would be trying to do specials on TV. He'd probably be writing songs about different issues. He would be writing screenplays. He would be writing poetry. He would be doing everything. He would be nonstop. He would be relentless. You'd probably get so much of him, you'd say, when is he going to stop?
Wow.
I'm glad you asked that question, because it was the last question that we asked everyone that we interviewed. What do you think Harry would be doing today? Family members to his friends like Billy Joel had their opinions. Uncle Tom Chapin, Jason's uncle, said, I don't know what he'd be doing, but whatever it is, he'd be in the middle of it. And that's true. He would be down at the border when the border thing was going on. He would be doing concerts, and I think he probably would have gotten back into documentaries a little bit, because that's a big part of his background. But as Uncle Tom said, he'd be in the middle of it, regardless of what it is.
Lastly, do you have a favorite quote from him, a favorite lyric, or Jason, a favorite memory that you want to share?
I think that the quote is, the name of the film, When in Doubt, Do Something. And it's really about letting everybody know that they can make a difference, that, whatever inspires you should drive you. And also, I think my favorite memory of him, which relates to the movie, is just that he had such passion. He really cared about people. He cared about issues, and he had to do something. There was just no way that he could stand by and watch. So I think his message is just to let everyone else know that, there's so much need out there, but there's so much good out there, and we need more good people to step up and do something.
Thank you both for joining me today. Harry Chapin, When in Doubt, Do Something is out in cinemas and in virtual cinemas. I'm SARI Cohen. See you next time.